What's up, everybody? Common Sense Custodian, aka the Wall Street Custodian, coming with a video that may be one of the most important videos I've ever done. Unless you're hiding under a rock, you have seen the explosive scandal, whatever you want to call it, that's going on Twitter with Matt Walsh's "What Is a Woman" documentary. By the way, up to 30 million views in just hours that this thing has been released, free on Twitter. And I just watched it, second time I've seen it, and I'm just sat there with my jaw open, because it's an incredible documentary, because all he does is ask the question. Very few opinions are put in by him. He just asks many different people, from doctors to psychologists to people who have transitioned to all kinds of things. Just the question, what is a woman? And it's just crazy. But what happened is, stunningly, Twitter throttled and censored the documentary. Let's get it straight from the owner of the Daily Wire. Let's see what he had to say, right? Twitter canceled a deal with the Daily Wire to premiere What Is a Woman for free on the platform because of 2 instances of misgendering. And by the way, before we continue, hit that subscribe button and check us out on Rumble. Many different things planned to do Rumble exclusive videos, just trying to build up the subscriber count there. Really helps to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Trying to do the best I can to bring common sense back to this world, all right? Common sense no matter what it is. And we're going to try to take a common sense, fair view on many different things, whether it's movies, culture, politics, stocks. We're still talking stocks, not giving up stocks. We're talking everything here, all right? And I think some of the things that we're going to talk about are very important for the foundation of our country going forward. So yes, let's get back to this, right? So he said here, the platform has literally canceled the deal over 2 instances of misgendering, and he said, I am not kidding, and here is what happened. 1 year ago, we released What Is a Woman to celebrate the occasion and expand the movie's already enormous impact. We decided to give it away for free for 24 hours on Twitter. With Twitter's recent commitments to free speech, we thought it would be the perfect place to distribute the film and drive the conversation forward on one of the most important topics of our day. Twitter responded with enthusiasm and offered us the opportunity to buy a package to host the movie on a dedicated event page to promote the event to every Twitter user over the first 10 hours. Who knows what that probably cost, right? We accepted and signed the agreement. After we signed, Twitter asked to see the film to better understand what parts may quote-unquote trigger users so they could better prepare their response. They said they were still all hands on deck for launch, so we sent them a screener. After reviewing the film, though, Twitter let us know that not only could we no longer purchase the package they offered, they would no longer provide us any support and would actually limit the reach of the film and label it as hateful conduct because of misgendering. Let me cut in here for a second. This is crazy, right? I made a video not long ago. Twitter, Elon, what are you doing hiring this World Economic Forum person as the head, a CEO of Twitter, right? And are we already seeing the effects of this? Okay, let's get back to it. Because I watched this documentary a second time, and literally all he does is ask the question. That's all the documentary is asking different people the question and letting the question stand on its own and letting each side of the argument stand on its own. And one side of the argument clearly collapses under just the simple asking of a question. That's all we're doing here. Asking a question. It's amazing. It's really amazing. Anyway, specifically in the film, a father refers to his 14-year-old daughter as her, and the store owner uses the wrong pronoun in a confrontation with a trans person. We reminded Twitter they removed misgendering from their policy, right, when Elon took over, that the term misgendering itself is misleading, and that enforcing such a policy places them on the side of the most radical elements in society, the side most opposed to their commitment of free speech, right? So that's like, you say you're about free speech, well, doing this is like completely against that. Twitter clarified they only removed misgendering from their policy because they didn't need to be that specific, but that they still considering misgendering abuse and harassment. They gave us the opportunity to edit the film. We declined. So they gave us the opportunity to edit the film and comply to their rules. And you know what? Good for the Daily Wire. Good for Jeremy. Good for Ben Shapiro. Good for Matt Walsh to say, you know what? No, we're not going to change, our values or what we think. And literally all they do is ask the question in this thing. Anyway, when we asked how much they would be limiting the visibility, and I'll give credit for Twitter here to being open about being open and transparent about how the algorithm works and what they're doing, right? So when we asked how much they would limit the visibility, if we posted the film anyway, Twitter replied that our own followers would not be able to see it in their feeds. This, they said, is part of speech but not reach. So what? So they're going to post it, but nobody can see it. Unbelievable. Could you imagine what went on in Twitter and other companies right now? Could you imagine what's going on? Twitter's the only transparent one. Could you imagine what Facebook's doing? Of course, saying you have the right to speak, but we'll make sure no one hears you is a bit like saying you have the right to cast a vote, but we'll make sure it isn't counted, and that's not right at all. We brought all of our shows to Twitter Tuesday because we believe Twitter was committed to free speech, especially on this issue. After all, the Babylon Bee was silenced on Twitter over this very issue. And that's what prompted Elon Musk to buy the platform. The other tech platforms all have already decided where they stand in the trans debate and demonetize and deprioritize all who disagree. You're not even allowed to have an opinion, right? Now Twitter has joined the ranks of other tech superpowers in ensuring one side of the debate is suppressed. At Elon Musk. So Elon Musk is not beholden to conservatives. He has the right to run his business how he sees fit. But if Twitter is going to throttle one side of one of the most important debates facing society, in my opinion, ever, it cannot claim to champion free speech. He's right on that. I hope Elon Musk will reconsider this awful policy. If we can't debate the issues on Twitter, well, where can we do it? If conservatives aren't welcome on Twitter, where are they welcome? It's unlikely another centibillionaire will come along to offer an alternative, and I will agree with that too. Because, go to True Social. Well, there's really mostly just right-wing voices on there. There's no debate there. And if you go to other ones, I forget the name of the other super far left platform, well, there's no debate there either. What's good about Twitter is there is debate. I actually regularly debate, or at least throw jabs at Ed Krasenstein. Some of the stuff he says is so crazy. I just can't believe some of the stuff he says. But that's the good thing, right? You can engage in debate and let the best ideas win. We don't want one platform that's really right, one platform that's really... We want everybody to be in one place and let the best ideas win. We plan to post the movie anyway tonight at 8 p.m. Will Twitter make good on their threat to throttle it and label it hateful conduct? Or will Twitter live up to its great promise, which is free speech? We'll all find out together then. That was last night. Matt Taibbi, who was chosen by Elon to release the Twitter files, right? So, for him to say this is interesting. He says there is no possible legitimate grounds for suppression of What is a Woman. The movie contains no threats, no trick editing, no hate speech. Its satirical point is made by using statements of trans activists. If this can be suppressed, anything can. He also goes on to say, the people who should most want to avoid censoring What is a Woman are anti-disinformation activists. If you suppress a film whose producers were careful to avoid hate speech, innuendo, factual error, and threats, you're not leaving any incentive to argue in a civilized way, and I will add, literally is the end of our country as we know it. This documentary does nothing more than ask a question and let other people answer it. To censor this, I am still in shock at Twitter and the people Elon Musk has running this company. Elon Musk immediately responded, "This was a mistake by many people at Twitter. It is definitely allowed. Whether or not you agree," oh, where'd it go? Whether or not you agree with using someone's preferred pronouns, not doing so is at most rude and certainly breaks no laws. I should note that I do personally use someone's preferred pronouns, just as generally I do too, right? Just as I use someone's preferred name, simply from the standpoint of good manners. However, for the same reason, I object to rude behavior, ostracism, or threats of violence if the wrong pronoun is used. That's great. So Jeremy responded, "I appreciate the reply. We posted the 2 clips flagged by Twitter, and they were indeed labeled hateful conduct. And the share functions were disabled. We are trying to reach your team to determine what this means for the posts." This is crazy that this is even happening. So the problem wasn't fixed right away. And Matt Walsh tweeted, "After promises that the problem would be fixed, the film has been flagged as hate speech and shares have been disabled." Really, truly unbelievable. Well, there's been an update. So there's, over the course of last night and into this morning, it seems that the problems have been fixed. It seems like Elon is standing up for what he wants and not for what he said, right, about free speech. And not just that, he actually just tweeted this 3 hours ago. "Every parent should watch this documentary." So from throttling it, labeling it hate speech, to completely the other end, actually coming out and saying that every single parent needs to see this documentary. Talk about a 180, okay? So here's my opinion on this and what Elon needs to get under control. There are clearly people in this company who do not agree with free speech, right? Even just asking a question, they label as hate speech, right? So he has to really clean this out and find out every single person along the way who was detrimental and caused this huge issue. And what's funny is it's only caused to make this a bigger thing than what it would have. I would bet anything that if none of this happened, it wouldn't be getting nearly as many views as it is. But because everyone's talking about it, because they tried to suppress this so aggressively, it blew up, and now they've gotten 30 million views in just hours. That's an incredible amount. That's 10% of the country, right? That's an incredible number. I also just want to point out another tweet that Robert F. Kennedy, my favorite Democrat currently right now that's running for president, he said, "Interesting. When we use our Team Kennedy email address to set up an Instagram account, we get an automatic 180-day ban. Can anyone guess why that's happening?" And also, Vivek Ramaswamy, who is my personal favorite right now, was canceled by LinkedIn. They actually suspended him. So what are we seeing here? What we are seeing, in my opinion, is anyone who is an outsider to the establishment. Anyone who is an outsider to the establishment getting censored, labeled, destroyed, throttled, you name it. If that doesn't show everybody that it's not a Democrat or Republican thing, this is an establishment versus a we the people thing. They want us divided. We have to realize that and unite. Who cares about somebody's personality? Who cares about who is going to fix this problem? Who is going to fix this elite uniparty versus we the people? Who is the outsider? Is it Vivek? Is it Robert Kennedy? Is it Trump? We need an outsider, in my opinion. Any of those three I'd be happy with. We need an outsider to fix this problem. Unbelievable. Let me know what you think. I'll catch you in the next one.